Well, how y'all doing? It's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home in the sticks. And I hope wherever you may be in the world that you having a show enough right fine weekend. And also to all the dads and dads to be, I want to say happy Father's Day to you. I hope y'all have a great day. But over here in East Central Mississippi, I'm here to tell you it has been show enough hot. Hotter than an aluminum foil sweatshirt. I mean. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you returning just to see what old Dan's got going on over her, I sure enough thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is, Lord of mercy, I'm going back to something that I kind of got away from. So give me a second and I'm finna shows you. Dan, what you going on about you done got away from something that you used to do? Well, I'm here to tell you, in the past, you and y'all should know that I'm a sure enough big fan of container gardening and especially raised bed gardening. But I actually got away from raised bed gardening because back in the day I had, over here on the west side of the 40, I had probably 10 raised beds going. I had a big old pea patch going. I had two 16-foot no-till raised beds going, and I'm here to tell you, it is a lot of work for one person, so I actually got away from it. But Jamie and I actually were going back and forth about growing stuff, what we were gonna grow for the fall crop. So let's go on over here, and I'm gonna show you what we done did. We kind of shaded right now because the sun has not made it to a full crest yet. We invested in some more raised beds. We got two 3-foot by 3-foot, 12 inches high, two of those, and one long one, 8-foot by 1.5 feet, 12 inches deep. I'm here to tell you, we had in this area right here, we had the grow out pen set up for the chicks. So we took that down, there it is over there, and we set up these raised beds. Now I'm here to tell you, we got up probably about 5:30 and started working on this when the sun was just barely coming up. We got out here because it has just been showing enough hot over here in East Central Mississippi. Last couple of days it has been 126 degrees with the heat index, so it's been really hot. You don't even want to mess with any of this stuff during about dinner time or lunchtime during the day. But over here in East Central Mississippi, this heat will sure enough hurt you if you ain't careful. But we got the raised bed set up, and I'm going to show you exactly what we did and how we set up our raised beds over here. Your mileage may vary, but this is how I do it over here at the Home in the Sticks. What we did was we put some cardboard. We always lay a cardboard in the bottoms of our raised beds. I do that for two different reasons. Number one, it's good to block out the weeds. It'll stop the weeds from growing, kind of, sort of. They'll eventually make their way up. And number two, the cardboard is definitely good for earthworms if you have earthworms in the area that you're growing in. I definitely have a lot of earthworms in this area right here. I know because I've actually grown in this area for several years, and I just know from turning this soil over and conditioning and amending this soil that I have a lot of earthworms here, so that's a good thing. But what we did was this bed right here and that bed over there, it took about 275 pounds of soil to fill this guy up, and we're not all the way to the top. We're maybe inch or so from the top, but that's what it takes to fill up these raised beds. And what we did was we actually took some of our horseradish and we planted some horseradish in this bed on the four corners, and maybe we'll companion plant something in this bed, but we're just going to see how it grows in this area. I think it'll do fine. There's a lot of videos out on how you could actually fill a raised bed up without using a whole lot of soil. I have access to soil, so yeah, we put 275 pounds of soil in these beds. But you can also you can fill these up with, I've heard a lot of folks that actually use old milk containers to actually build up the space where you don't use so much soil in your raised bed. You could also go a partial hugel bed if you wanted to. Use some some old hardwood logs down at the bottom of this, just so you don't have to put so much soil in these raised beds. But again, I had access to soil, so this whole raised bed, all 12 inches and 3 by 3 of it, is filled with a combination of black cow and some good potting soil, and also we threw in some backtoe. So we're thinking that this is going to grow. But on our 8-foot bed, I'm going to have to get some more soil for it. We actually have the two 3 by 3 beds filled. We're kind of going back and forth on what we're going to put in this raised bed over here. But that's what we've been doing, trying to get these raised beds going again. I'm going to be thinking on what I'm going to do with this flowering Bradford pear that's right here. It blocks out a lot of the sun in this area, but when the sun does crest, this area does get sun. Really don't want to cut this tree down, but I may trim it back just a little bit so we can get a lot more light in this area right here. So what the future plans are here on the farm at the Home in the Sticks, we intend on putting quite a few more 3 by 3 beds, you know, maybe one over there, one over here. We're trying to keep about 30 inches of space in between everything so you could walk through it. If you have to kneel down and pick or plant, you can do that as well. But I'm thinking we may get maybe 1, 2, 3 more beds. So we'll have a total of 7 raised beds growing over here. And I'm here to tell you, if you are not into raised bed gardening or container gardening, it's something to really get into, because it is amazing how much food you can grow in this little bitty small space. It's just amazing. And one of the other reasons why, hush up Roxy, one of the reasons why I love raised bed gardening is because you can control the soil structure and what you put in it and how much you put in it. So it's another good thing about raised bed gardening. You have full control over everything that you put into it. Now, one last thing on these raised beds, these raised beds will settle over time, so we would just add on to what we already have in here and just up pot them, if you will, or just add more soil into it to bring it back up. But that's no big deal. I was kind of thinking on the other 3 by 3 bed, what would we say? We might plant some radishes and maybe some carrots or something like that in that other 3-foot bed. And I am going to start adding worm castings to these raised beds, especially when we plant, they come up. I'll probably side dress with, hush up Roxy, with some worm castings. So that's a good that's a good thing as well. Worm castings are real beneficial to any garden, basically, especially a raised bed gardening. I'm also, I've been talking a lot here today. I'm also getting my hungry bin back up and running pretty soon. So that's going to be for another video, because I have been really wanting to start adding worm castings and worm tea, or the leachate tea, I guess that's what you call it, to use that to water everything over here, foliage wise and root wise. So that'd be for another video. Well, all right, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Lord of mercy, sure enough got some raised beds going again. Kind of got away from the wooden raised beds because, yeah, they rot over time. Went with some metal raised beds. I think they're going to last a really long time. I'm pretty sure they will. And hopefully we can start getting our grow on again in the raised beds. Looking forward to that, because there are plenty of things that you can companion plant and smash in there together in a raised bed. I just like having everything compacted. So we're just gonna see what happens. So again, I hope everybody is having a show enough good weekend. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and fathers to be. If y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up, they help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home in Six channel, Lord of mercy, y'all need to come on over and give a damn look, because I'm always doing stuff like raised bed gardening again. That being said, you know it's coming. Dan Reference, show enough, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You sure enough get your shine on, get your grow on, put your hands in the dirt, plant something. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.